Hey, we're back. It's Tuesday. I'm back. I want to first of all welcome everybody. We've reset the studio, as you can see. We have a new background. You can't see it yet, but we have a monitor right here. Now I'm not sure which camera we're looking at. I guess this one straight in front of us.
Yeah.
So my first shout out is to Wes for filling in last week. That was awesome.
Thank you, Wes.
And we appreciate that. And you did a great job. Everybody looked like they had a good time.
Yep.
I know I did.
Yep.
I had a good time for sure.
Wes worked hard for that.
Yeah, I know. He did, but it's all right. He's all good. So, what's new?
Well,
so much.
Here, you cover
And
it.
so little. Am I going? All right, here we go. We're going to talk about explosion. I spend a lot of time, as I do every week, listening to Art Williams, trying to figure out what do I feel like we're all wanting to hear. Maybe it's just what Rob and I want to hear. But you get to hear it, kind of like the way Andy built his environment for Andy. You guys get to listen to what we want to hear. So we're for sure going to have on, in fact, there he is. We're going to bring him on in the Zoom, SNSD Andy Young. We're going to have the rally that continues, and maybe somebody can start to beat Belda's streak. SNSD Gus Gonzalez is going to be joining us tonight with a I haven't heard his presentation that he's going to do for us tonight, but I went through his slides. You guys want to get out notes, paper, pencil, whatever it is you need to like write down what Gus is going to say, because he's crunched the numbers. Totally fascinating.
He's a master of making the compensation simplified and selling the dream. I mean, he's a ninja with the dream calculator on
He
the
really
app.
is. And then when like I said, just stepping through the slides, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so y'all get going on that. We're going to talk about if there are any promotions. Go ahead and be sending those in. And then, like I said, I was spending a lot of time with Art this morning, so we're going to hear from a couple things from the founder. Thought that was pretty good.
That's great.
All right, go at it for social.
All right, so obviously we got our social wall. What we want to do, you see our little turkey there.
I know.
We want to hear about what you're thankful for, what your gratitude. Tell us what you're thankful for in your business and your family life, and use our hashtag SNSD Factory on the Twitter or Instagram, and make sure it's a public post. It'll show up on our social feed. And then if you're on Facebook, it's a little different. You got to go at Let's Get Bigger, Go Home. Or if you're willing to wait a little while, you could text us at the 40440. Oh,
there's Joe Red's
let me
Keystone drinking water seminar.
I mean, I know that's probably the most disappointing part of postponing Keystone.
Because we thought that we were going to.
But, I'm still been drinking water just in case and getting ready. But yeah, so we've got the social wall, and if we'd love to see what you've got. We'll maybe cut to it a couple other times in the show. Thankful for your team, thankful for whatever you're thankful for, and get in touch with us. Y'all know the drill if you've seen this before. And if you want to watch it when we're not there, you can go to Get Bigger, or when we're not cutting to it on the show, go to getbiggergohome.com, and at the top you'll see a tab for the social feed, and you should be able to see it all there. So yeah, we got people with their Keystone memories. I think we asked for that last week or a week or two ago. There's some of the ones I posted.
Those too for a few.
Yeah, here's the G-Wagon. Love the G-Wagon.
Yes.
One of my favorite little favorite car rentals. Turo, Turo. Hashtag not sponsored. One of my favorite apps. It's like Airbnb, but for cars.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
So you can go get something.
Borrow somebody else's car.
Better than just your average, rental car lot. Bare bones, Elantra
Focus,
or something,
whatever it is they're giving us these days.
I did get a Ford Focus one time.
Did you?
But it was a Focus RS.
Oh, does that make it better?
It's very fast.
Okay. All right, so if you have promoted anybody in the last 2 weeks, because I wasn't here last week to read them, please send them in, getbiggergohome.com /downloads promotions. You will see the form there. Put everybody in towards
and we got a gang of promotions we're going to be doing. We got a backlog, right?
Well, we do, right? So a gaggle. Yeah, maybe it's a gaggle. All right. Clear the board, Trish, if you haven't already. Here's the rally information. And I will say, when Rob goes through this tonight, make sure that you write your number down, because we are not going to be visiting this graphic very much tonight before we call the final three teams. So it's not like most nights where we give it to you 4 or 5 Well,
Yeah,
maybe
we
not
got some
4 or 5
longer
times,
segments
but
tonight,
some
so
long
we don't have little
segments.
breaks to kind of, piecemeal
Remember.
this food. So yeah, make sure to communicate this to your team right now, because I know some people may be driving home from work. It takes them a minute to get on the stream. They might be a few minutes late. Make sure they understand the rally is started, and obviously the RVPs, you got to get your count up. So RVPs only right now, but
Yep.
let us know who you got, who you are, and how many people.
RVP, last name, and the number of people. That nice RVP Young 999 example there for you. Trish is counting. How's it doing over there? Clicking away. All right, you guys. Well,
She should have dressed as Count Chocula for Halloween.
who? Trish?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so
Been watching a lot of Sesame Street.
apparently,
Or as Andy calls it, Elmo. Which is, everything is Elmo in Sesame Street.
yes. All right, who is just kicking everybody's tail?
Bold team, baby.
Bold team is. I got this graphic this morning. Amy turned it, or this picture from Belda this
Yep.
morning. She has all 7 of her cups.
Come
And
on!
yeah, seriously. And she went and got them all autographed.
Yep.
All 7 of them. So very fun. I think she's got a trophy case. Maybe she'll show us.
Yeah, I know she
I've
had
heard.
she had it when she was on the interview. So
Oh, well,
that was good.
we'd like to see
And
them all
we'll,
in the trophy case.
But I mean, Walter broke triple digits last week. Belda's been slipping a little bit. So getting a little close.
All
Getting
right.
a little close.
All right, let's go ahead and just talk about the elephant in the room. So we sent y'all a nice email saying, what I'm going to read again, right? You guys are some of the most resilient and tenacious group of people as a family, as our Get Bigger, Go Home family. But the movement to red for Colorado, specifically Summit County, which is where Keystone is located, was one step too far for us to
I
gather.
mean, yeah, we got
So bottom
as
line,
close as we got till we made the call. I mean,
yeah, we rode it out as long as we could. If they had stayed in Orange, it would have been great. But we didn't want to get people, we just wanted to make sure everybody was safe and we weren't in a spin,
Yeah.
right? And if they'd gone to purple, that would have been a hole. We don't want to go there. Anyways, so I'm disappointed, but I'm also excited for the April 11th through, or 8th through 11. So those dates are on your screen. Remember now, all of your tickets from December will carry forward to the April Keystone. Now, this turned out to be a nice little bonus. If you haven't done this before, I suggest you do it in the future. If you booked a condo with the Keystone Resort, this was the group code on the ticket page.
Yeah, on our
And
website.
on the website. They canceled your reservation for you automatically and you will receive a refund. Now, I imagine that takes 10 days or so, but they have already taken care of you. And as always, tickets at nightglass.com if you have any questions and things that we're still kind of sorting out. And we are going to take a momentary 4-day pause off of email, Trish and I. So feel free to keep emailing. And on Monday the 30th, we'll answer everybody's emails.
Okay.
So that's what we have to talk about.
You don't
now,
want to answer emails on Thursday?
I was thinking maybe not.
Okay.
I was going to watch a parade, but then I heard there's not even a parade. Is that true?
I mean, we could make our own
We
parade.
could have our own parade. Maybe we should. We could let Matt run a half, and we could be the
Yeah.
audience at the end. All right, but we are moving on though. Come January 8th and 9th. There was a little typo in that first email I sent. It was a Friday night late when I did it. So it is the 8th and 9th though, Friday night and Saturday. Groundbreaking. Andy and I have already been making up some of the most incredible stuff because we love doing that together. It's going to be unbelievable. Go ahead and save that date. Details to follow.
Yeah. So don't miss it. That's going to be our,
That's the kickoff for 21,
Nope.
which is a whole new year. Let's try her
Absolutely.
again. Right? Look, you want to introduce him?
Yeah.
I see he's here.
Matt,
Can
am
we
I
see
supposed
him?
to do this?
I'll get you there in a second.
Okay.
We got new stuff, right?
All
All
right.
right, so just roll this way first.
Yes. So we've got a guy who's
Oh, there he
set
is.
the record for his income last year and is already beating it by over 20%, and the year isn't even done.
There he
It's
is.
crazy the amount of growth that we've had in this business, but especially with the leadership of Andy Young and his hierarchy, what we've been able to put together, the resiliency through all this COVID mess, doing what's right, stepping up to the plate, not being selfish, keeping the environment going, pouring in tens of thousands, nearly $100,000 of his own
Yep.
money so far this year, keeping this thing going with all these free shows we've been doing for you. They're not free for Andy, I'll tell you that very much. So let's please, I'm going to put the little button on, but I want everybody sitting at home,
Yep.
get off your ass and start applauding. Give it up for Andy Young.
Woohoo! Look, we have a two-shot. Like we're all, there we were.
All right, all that applause. That's absolutely amazing. And I just want to give a shout out to Matt, Darla, and Night Glass, because it's been a joint venture. We've done this together, all the tens of thousands, 100,000, whatever. They're in fully. I mean, we're all in, like the guy did on Jeopardy all the time. All in. We've been all in together, joint venture. It's been an amazing, amazing year. I think Matt told me that somebody just texted me. I look crooked on the picture somehow. And it's like the lady that called her husband out on the 405 in California and said, hey, baby, be careful because there's a guy going the wrong way on the 405. And he said, guy going the wrong way? He's like, hell, they're all going the wrong way. So think about that. That's like a Belva joke. Just I start one half of one Belva joke. But anyway, I had an emergency meeting last night we did, and there's 7 full days actually left right now in the month. You go till 3 a.m., midnight Pacific time, on the 1st. And it just, the company, I just got off a 2.5-hour Zoom call with Glenn Williams. I got kind of a headache. I mean, I literally had to come off here, power up my iPad because it's about to run out of juice, and get this thing all put together up here in Delaware. And Glenn is just relentless. I would tell you, it was lively back and forth. And he's already on to, what are we going to do for the second year, how we're going to dominate. Blew it out of the water, the whole first year of the decade of dominance. And second, year, what are we going to do? Make it even bigger. And it was just funny watching the staff to Julie and Bobby Peterman and Jeff Reed and all those guys. I mean, he just had him literally running in circles. I mean, it's Thanksgiving week, but he, I don't know if some of you listen to me. Some of you have already probably taken a week off. I'm just challenging you that our CEO is on it all the way. He's probably on 4 or 5 other calls right now, following up with people. This thing is a movement that is unbelievable. You look at our stock, all-time high today. And one of the things that we talked about on the call is free stock. How you get free stock? You get RVP, you get free stock here. And I mean, just literally millions, literally hundreds of millions of dollars worth of wealth has been granted and given to the field of the RVP. So the challenge is you got to get some. And that's just an amazing different ways you can get it for the RVPs, with the field training bonus. You do the right things that you're, as you're building here, it's going to be amazing. And then producing RVPs, because that's the name of the game, long range. But tonight, what's going to be real interesting is, Gus put together a presentation and about comp, and you're with Get Bigger, Go Home. You're with a group of people who want you to be an RVP, ultimately an SNSD, because we're an SNSD factory. And so you got to choose what level you want to play at. And I showed the sheet. I've shown it many times. Get Bigger, Go Home. And it talks about how literally in 12 months went from district, replacement, and 3 RVPs promoted after I went to RVP, and basically district to senior vice president in 1 year. So it's absolutely doable. The question is, what level do you want to play at? I'm talking about 2021. What level do you want to play at? And Gus put together this presentation that's nice and tight that shows you what you can do at even a smaller level, not SNSD, not ISNSD, not Circle of Champions. I'll put that up just in case Peggy Hightower is watching. But Circle of Champions. I mean, you got an amazing opportunity here, but you got to choose to go after it. Don't let the people in the home office and the CEO of the company outwork your butt. That's insane. You got a way bigger opportunity than they got, the opportunity to own your business. So I think Gus, is Gus out there? Where is Gus? Gus on. There's Gustav. Man, where you at the home office, man? I think you're on mute or I'm on mute. Who's on mute?
Yeah, man, I'm trying to outwork Glenn Williams here at the home office.
It looks like you're at the homo. Did you take? Do we have a Venezuelan coup? You got a coup d'état, so you took a. We now have a South American dictator.
You know, we appoint presidents now, right? It's all about software, baby.
Crap, that's a great background, great hat. And how you doing? Having the beach for Thanksgiving? The beach?
Yeah. We're the bitch. We are the bitch. Having fun, man. Excited. We have all the our kids here. We're gonna spend Thanksgiving here. What an amazing time this is, and man, and what a great business that you can have options like this, right?
Absolutely. So why don't you let it rip, man? I heard great things about this presentation.
Yeah, I mean, I just simplified. Am I sharing the presentation, Darla, or are you doing it, or how is this working?
Hey, Gus, it's Darla. We have your slides for you. So whenever you're ready, next.
Okay. All
Next
right, let's
slide.
do it. So yeah, I put some slides together, and what the whole thing, Andy, was that I was talking to Mary and her group, and they wanted to kind of hear about compensation, and I'm thinking, man, you know what? Sometimes I think what happens is that people think they overcomplicate this thing too much, and they overthink this thing. So I came up with, okay, SNSD. I mean, double SNSD. It's intimidating as heck, right? Most people don't even believe that far. I mean, don't most people don't even believe SNSD, right? So I'm thinking, okay, let's give people some milestones that are within reach, that are closer, but you can blow. I mean, we'll blow your mind right now to see what you can do within a year. Because Andy said it. He did what I'm going to show you within 1 year. Within 1 year. So it's just mind blowing that to know and understand that you don't need a lot of people. You only need a few people that are committed. Obviously, you need to be committed, right? Because people are going to follow you. So it's very important that you are committed to that vision. I think that what most people are lacking is a vision. It's a clear and concise mental picture of what they want. I know it because of my own history story, right? Where I gave up on SNSD, but I locked onto SVP, and I said, I believe that I can do that. I don't know if I can do that other big thing out there, but I can do SVP. And that decision, that level of commitment, that level of clarity on what I wanted changed my life forever. And this can happen to you too. So let's go ahead and share the slides, Darla. So I'm looking at 4 screens. Is that everyone's looking at 4 screens, or they're just looking at one?
There.
I just have two, Gus. I just have one of your nostrils.
They see me, and they see
They
see
only-
the slide too.
They only see your slide.
They only see the slide. Okay, and you can go back and forth between
Yes,
me,
sir.
or well, I mean, all right, perfect. All right, so we broke this down into 4 milestones. Okay, 4 milestones. It starts with your clear and concise mental picture. If you don't know where you're heading, if you don't know exactly what needs to get done, I don't know, you may not get there, right? So it is important to establish, okay, this is what I'm doing. And these are the 4 milestones. So let's go to the next slide. The very first milestone is 10 by 10. Now, I'm going to clarify one thing. I am assuming that every sale is for $83 per month. Why? Because you are doing a sale, a life insurance sale on a young couple, okay, on average. So each person pays about $40 per month, okay, roughly $500 a year. So between the two, it's $1,000 a year. So I am assuming that you are writing sales that are $1,000 a year on average. Now, Are all sales $1,000? No, I just said average. Some are going to be 700, some are going to be 1,500. Does that make sense? So we're using a $1,000 an average sale, okay, for the year. So 10 by 10. Why do you need to recruit 10 people? Well, because not everyone is going to buy something, right? Not everyone's going to become a client, but if you will, and a couple of people will go district leader and something like that, and you're going to generate the sales. But this is what I want you to get. If you are doing one sale a week, just one sale a week, you are doing maybe a recruit and a sale, okay? Whatever it is, but you're doing one sale a week. And remember, the sales come from the recruits, right? And you got 3 people on your team that are part-time, that are going to district, right? Because you recruited 10 people, you got 3 people that are going to district, right? They are doing one sale. Whenever I say a sale, that comes from a recruit, right? Remember, you had 10 recruits. So they are doing, each of those 3 people are doing one sale every 2 weeks. It is not every week. You're doing it every week. You're a little bit more committed than they are, right? But they're doing it one sale every 2 weeks. That is your 10 sales right there. That's your 10 recruits and your 10 sales. How many people were working that month? A total of 4. That is a total of 4 people. You and 3 people that are going for something, but they are part-timers. They cannot be going at your same speed, and you're not flying either, right? But they are part-timers, right? So you, 3 people, you doing one sale a week, 3 people doing one sale every 2 weeks. Is that doable? I cannot see you, right? I cannot see you, but I want you to ask yourself, is that doable? I mean, raise your hand right there, like you're saying, is that doable? Absolutely, yes, it's doable. So with that in mind, let's go to the next slide. I went to the dream calculator and I punched in exactly those numbers. You at the top are the RVP, because I'm assuming you're going to be an RVP. I'm assuming you're getting your butt to RVP right away if you're not an RVP, because this business was not designed for part-timers. This business was built with part-timers, but it's designed for RVPs, full-time people. So you got your 4 sales of 1,000 right there at the top, and you got a person at a district leader level that did 2 sales, a person at division 2 sales, a person at regional 2 sales. That's not a big team. That is, all these people are part-time. That's 10,000. If you look to the right, that's the compensation report on that. That is $5,334 for that month. And if you multiply it times 12, that's $64,000 for the year. I want you to stop one moment, because if you've been here more than like 3 weeks, you think, oh, 64,000, that's not big, that's not money. Well, outside of Primerica, people would kill to get paid 64,000 take home. After they take away your taxes, after they take away all the things they take away from your paycheck as a salary, this is probably an $85,000, $90,000 paycheck per year. Can you do that here? Can you do that? We have literally thousands of people doing that in Primerica, right? Now, that's level number 1. Let's go to the next level. Second milestone. Remember, you got that down, 10 by 10. What is the next milestone? Oh, I click again because I just went over those things. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So second milestone is 20 by 20. Guys, you're just doing the same thing over, but now, so look, I didn't even double your production. You're doing 1.5 sale per week. And you might say, Gus, how is that even possible? Well, 1 week you did 1 sale. The next week you did 2, then 1, then 2, right? And you have those same 2 people that were part-timers before. They're still part-timers, but they're excited. And now they're doing what you were doing before, one sale a week. And you got 3 new ones, right? 3 new ones that are doing their one sale every 2 weeks. That's it. That is a total of 6 people, you and 5 people. 2 are more committed, 3 are part-time. That is your 20 sales right there. Click again. All right. Now you are there at the top with 6 sales of 1,000. Then you have a district doing 2 sales, a division doing 4, and a regional leader team doing 8. A regional leader team is maybe 2 people, maybe 3, but they're doing 8 sales together for the month, right? That's not a big team. They're not even ready for RVP. That's 20,000 in production. Can you click one more? Click one more. Look at your income. Your income just went up to 131,000 for the year. Woo! Now that's freaking exciting because you didn't triple your double or triple your production yourself, right? You only did a little bit more, and you make sure that you got 2 or 3 people that are going for the next level. That's it. Guys, think about this. This is 5 recruits and 5 sales for the week. As a team, you take care of 1.5 and the team takes care of the other 3.5. Is that doable? I think it is. I think it's totally doable. And the money that Primerica put there, it's insane. You saw that. Why? Because they're thinking they're thinking is this same progression that I'm talking to you about. It's 10, then 20. Okay? Now, let's go to the next level. Let's go to the next level there. We're at 2020, right? Now, your next level is senior vice president. You didn't even build a huge base shop, okay? I'm keeping this real. I'm keeping this honest. I'm keeping this, you don't need to be no superstar, right? This is not the 100 by 100 stuff that Andy was talking about. Think about this. And he did it in a year. So now you have your same base shop, exactly the same doing 2020, but now you have 3 people that went to RVP. So what if it takes 6 months for somebody to go to RVP? Somebody that's really into it. Man, that's 18 months later, right? Think about this. You are doing 20 and you have 3 RVPs that are doing what? Milestone number 1. See, everyone is on the same page. You are on milestone number 2, and the way you move to milestone number 3 is because you have 3 people from your team that went to milestone number 1. Because you are getting there first, and then you're bringing people along with you, okay? Now, they are doing 10 by 10,000, right? Your 3 RVPs. Let me show you what that looks like. Can you click next? All right. The production now is 20,000. You know what that looked like personally, right? 20,000 on your team plus 30,000 that come from your 3 RVPs doing 10,000 each, right? Click again. So that equals 50. So 20 plus 30, that equals 50 total. That is the next milestone Primerica is going to give you a reward for. See what your income goes to, 200 grand. Now you're getting 2 diamonds, right? That's $17,000 for the month. Every month. Of course, that's like not even a week for Andy. But for the rest of us mortal folks, $17,000 in 1 month, that's some serious dough. I need you to start thinking right now, what will your life look like? How would you like be different with $17,000 every single month? That is, let me help you, about $4,000 every week. A little bit over that, $4,500 every week. Every week, boom, week in. week out. You're thinking, oh my God, it's Friday. Oh, don't worry. Monday, I'm going to get another 4,000. 4,000 every week. Every week. How can your life change? And how many people do you have? Can you go back to the slide? How many people? This is not a big team, guys. This is a few committed people here. You have yourself, you have 5 people more in your base shop, and 3 RVPs that have a couple of guys. That's it. They could even do that personally if they chose to do that. All right. All right. So let's go to milestone number 4. Remember, all of this, you have to have an expectation that this can happen to you in 18 months or even faster. In today's Primerica, it could be even faster. All right. Now, you just took your base from 20 to 30. That's not a huge jump, right? It's not even double. I mean, from 20 to 30. You were doing 20 by 20 before. Now you're doing 30 by 30. And you still have your same 3 RVPs, but they are chasing you. You see, they want what you want. So they took their base shots from 10 to 15. Not a huge jump, but it's a very realistic, even though I hate that word, jump, right? So now you're at 30 and they're each at 15, which means that as a group, you're doing 75s. Can you click the next slide? So you 30 in the base, right? Click one more. That's the base, 30,000 plus 45,000 in your first generation RVPs. You could have 3, but you could have 4 if or it could be 5. It doesn't matter. But the company requires at least 3. Look at your income. It just jumped to $324,000. That is $27,000 a month. I kid you not when I tell you that life begins at 300,000. You get ownership, and this is real ownership. This is not the one that we kid around that you are a slave to your pen. You have 3 RVPs that are doing 15,000 each. They're moving. They're following you. There is a vision for more. They're going for SVP as well, and hopefully NSD and SNSD. $27,000 a month. At that level, you can really buy yourself a nice house. Finally, you can get a couple of very nice cars. You could pay your taxes. If you're like me, you could tithe. You could, you can put your kids in private school if you wanted to. You can have one other vacation a year outside of everything, because you're going to win everything in Primerica. So that's 2 vacations that are paid by Primerica. Well, vacations, right? If you're smart, you're going to go and work them, right? And then you pay for your own vacation for a whole week or whatever you want in the world. And you can still invest about $8,000. Think about that. Isn't that why we're here? Isn't that why we're here? Guys, 18 months. If you're aggressive, 12 months. I have a friend that started 32 months ago in Primerica. He was here before, but started 32 months ago. Actually, 33 right now, right? Start date, IBA date, 33 months ago. And today, he's got 7 direct RVPs, 1 second generation, income about to cross 800,000 this month. Why? Because he understood what I'm showing you here, but he took it further. He said, you know what? I'm going for the whole thing. I'm going for SNSD. I can totally believe that I can do this in 3 years, in 36 months. So he's literally going to be the fastest. His name is Carlos Leon, the fastest person to $1 million from IBA in 36 months. That is what's happening in Primerica today. But you need to understand, you need to get excited about compensation, because you need to know what you're going for. You need to know exactly what you're after. What is it? What's at the end of the rainbow? What's on the other side of that wall that you're trying to tear down? It's important that you have, that you totally understand that. and you remind yourself, you print that off somewhere and you remind yourself, like Art Williams taught us, he told us that he reminded himself pretty much every day, man, 70,000 more to go. Man, another 54,000 to go. Man, 23,000 to go. He's looking at that, and his goal was financial independence at $300,000. Think about that. He makes that in interest probably a week now, right? But that's what he wanted. He had a clear and concise mental picture. You need to do that. Let's go back to the slide. Darla, let's go back to the slide. So in your mind, you need to connect recruiting with premium. I'm telling you, even most people in the SNSD factory have not made that connection. You have to make that connection, and you recruit people so they can get promoted. And a few are going to buy their product for themselves because it makes so much sense. And 2 or 3 or 4 of the 10 are going to go for the promotion. Not all are going to get it, but that generates premium. You don't get paid on recruiting, but you get paid on premium. But you have to find the premium the right way. That way it keeps on coming. And then recruiting creates, can you hit one more? One more. Recruiting creates, no, one before, I'm sorry. There. Recruiting creates 2 things, right? Production. And that production comes through internal consumption, right? We always talk about the 4-point game plan. Somehow all of us are related to Larry Weidel. Andy is direct to Larry, right? I was motivated by Larry. I never met Andy, I never met Larry. I didn't know anyone, but I heard a tape when he talked about this stuff, right? And it totally changed my life. Why? Because it's such a simple method. All you need to do is focus on the recruiting side and move people through a very simplified system. So internal consumption comes from the 4-point game plan, and promotions, people going for promotions in their warm market. People don't go for promotions in the cold market. They go for promotions in the cold market. So you need to find 1 or 2 or maybe 3 people within the 10 that will do that. And then once you get those people promoted, that gives you the other byproduct of recruiting, which is a new capacity for expansion. Okay. Now you can do more that you could have done last month. Okay. Double-digit recruiting is the engine, therefore. It is the only way to do it. Why? Because we know in advance that 4 of those people ain't going to do crap. 4 most likely are going to get their own plan if you are totally 100% on top of the process of the 4-point game plan. And then 2 people go to district, right? Typically 1, but you're going to have another person, maybe 2 more that are trying to go to district but didn't quite make it. But the result is the same. That's 6,000 that come from that because they have to do 3 by 3,000. Does that make sense? So it is a very simplified system, and the simpler it is, the better it will run. You have to simplify to multiply. But if in your mind you don't know exactly what you're going for, and you don't relate recruiting to premium, it's going to take you a long time. You're going to be frustrated because you're going to be chasing other things. You're going to be, oh, they're doing that over there. Oh, they're doing this over here. Oh, this is the new incentive. And you will always keep, you'll lose your focus, right? Did we have one more slide? I think. All right. So this recruit to build idea requires, number 1, intention. You have to be very specific about what you want, right? And that is that clear and concise mental picture that Napoleon Hill talks so much about. The desire comes from there. He says that without desire, you can do it, but the desire comes from knowing what you want. And then you have an expectation of results. You need to expect to double-digit recruit. You need to expect to get 2 people going for district. You need to expect that people are going to go through the 4-point game plan, right? And then simplification. You have to drop most of the crap that you're doing now and just focus on that, on the DDR and getting people through the process. And then the execution part is going to require all of you, not half of you, not a quarter of you, all of you for a very short period of time. Why? Because it's going to require intense focus on this conversation that we're having right here. This is the way we do it. Not over there, not over there. Intense urgency, because if it's going to happen, it's because you will it. You push it to happen. The new recruit will not want to do anything. They think they need to get licensed. So you need to make sure you do that quickly, because they're going to probably quit tomorrow. And incredible amounts of work ethic, because when you apply that urgency and that focus, you're going to be doing appointments at 6 a.m, at 1 a.m, on Sunday, Saturday, 4th of July, like Andy was recruited. I mean, I've recruited people on Thanksgiving. This week right now, you're going to either fall prey to the average, or you're going to stay completely focused on your clear and concise mental picture that drives your desire. And if you're drifting towards the turkey, you need to look at your complete picture. You need to examine that, because why is your desire not white hot? Why not? That is the question of the day. So it is simple, it is doable, and if there was ever a time to do it, it is now. I've been here 21 years. Andy's been here like 47 years. How many years have been there, Andy? And
40.
I have never seen this happening like it's happening right now. Money is like growing on trees. I mean, people are going. When I went to the million, we had 5 other people do it, and it was like a record or something. Now it's one every month. So my guy broke the record to the fastest to $1 million, and not even 2 weeks later, somebody broke that record. Mika Sanders did, and now this guy Leon, a few months later, is going to break it down by 1.5 years. That's the way things are going right now. So if you don't get on your clear and concise mental picture right, your desire why hot, and focus on double-digit recruiting and a simplified process to get people promoted, you're going to stay behind. So jump on the boat, get on it, and come with us to the promised land, because this is an SNSD factory.
Oh, hey, Gus, a couple things. First, how critical is it to make it? It's critical to get into a hot market. People have leverage, credibility, as opposed to, beating your brains out trying to go through the cold. I say it's like 2 out of 100 in the cold and 4 out of 10 in a warm hot market.
Well,
how important is that?
It's not even critical or important. It's everything. It's like playing soccer. Mike Sharp says most people in America are playing soccer. I don't know why he said soccer in a basketball court. Okay, the game is not designed for that. The founder of the guy that made up the whole thing, that created the thing. Remember, this is the brainchild of one man. And he says that this is a warm market company and is created for you to get overrides. And if you're thinking something different, it's a different game. So what Andy did and what I'm telling you to do, what I did, I never did the cold thing. I don't know. That you cannot do that. Now, Andy was in the cold market, for 19 days.
Right.
19 days, because that's because he's a freaking hero. Nobody can stand that more than 18 days, right? And because you know in advance that you can only be there 19 days, you need to go as quick as you can. It's like if you're going through hell, run. Don't meander through hell. Run, right? So it's everything, Andy.
Hey, and one last thing. I think it was 2018. I could be wrong. I think it was 2018 when you took like a 6-week trip to Europe. Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, yeah.
Talk about that trip. Who went? What? I know that fan the flames for some of the cooking you do, but I mean, just talk about that trip and where you stayed, what you did. What's the lifestyle
Well,
type thing for that trip?
let me tell you, the trip was a seed that was planted. It was one of those things, right? A clear and concise mental picture thing, a desire thing, a seed that was planted in me, in my brain, by Hector Lamarck. He said, I took my whole family to Europe for a month. It cost me $60,000, and we did this and that. And I said, I wrote that down. I said, damn, I'm gonna do that one day, right? Fast forward 15 years or whatever it is, right? We took our 3 children, my mom, my wife's mom, her husband, and so 8 people. I bought first class tickets, right? The tickets alone were 22 grand. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm approaching Hector, right? Because I'm trying to beat Hector, right? I'm competitive, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I need to beat Hector, right? So we stayed there for a whole month. We rented a villa for a week in Tuscany, and we went to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. We went to, I mean, you name it, where they make, because I like to eat, right? So I had all these predetermined restaurants we were gonna go. So we went to Spain, we went to Italy, we went to France, and the places that we went, I'm telling you, man, it was a trip of a lifetime. There is no value, no price on seeing your mother and your mother-in-law get on that plane. And because I had it all, it was all a secret. I had the people in it, right? So they're getting first on that plane, and the stewardess, as you come in, the stewardess says, typically, right? That's coach, right? And she goes, and my mom is like, no, it's right. No. This way, right? And they get in, and my mom sits next, and she has traveled there before, but she's thinking, man, we're going to Europe. I'm not, and she sees her thing, and she doesn't want to even sit down. And then she sees all of us walking there, right? All of us, the kids, everyone, and they start bawling, Andy. They're literally crying on the earth. I'm thinking, shit, this is worth every no, every situation, everything. You forget about everything. I was talking to my boy Juan Jimenez the other day, because Juan is on track to make $40,000 in 1 month for the first time this month. And he's so excited. He told me, man, it's true. You forget everything. But you need to have those moments in your mind. You need to be able to do that, right? What can you create? Think about, what can you create? Well, my mom right now, she had they're getting older. She lives on a two floor apartment, and it was like one of them almost fell. It was a disaster. So what did I do? Found a guy, listed the apartment, right? Moved them out, rented a place close to my brother, $1,800 a month. Boom, done. Paid for the year. Just go, move. One story, right? I'm from Atlanta, from here, directing hire somebody, a realtor, say, fine, this is what we want. And boom, they're there now. That's, yeah, it's money, right? But there's no priceless, like the MasterCard commercial, right? So those things that you're able to do, guys, it's not just the money, and it is the freedom, and it's all of that combined. I mean, it's not just the money. I don't want to say that. It is the money. because you 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 cannot do it without the money. But man, the person you become and the impact that you have in the lives around you is just no. I mean, it's just something else. Look who's here, Andy.
Joey.
What's up? Hey. So how much
How
was
are
it? 60.
you?
Good. How you doing? Was it 60,000 or how much?
The what? The what?
Was it 60,000 or how
the
much?
trip. The trip. I got to 57,500. I couldn't get it over 60,000 for whatever. I don't know what happened to me. I got distracted and boom, I didn't get it over 60,000. 57,500.
All right. Well, Gus, amazing job tonight. I would challenge you just go get a room right now. It looks like she's ready. So thank you for sharing.
Isn't this PG? Isn't this PG?
That's right. It's a family show. There you go. All right. Appreciate it, buddy. Love you. Look forward to getting with you soon. Okay.
Thank you, brother. Love you, man.
All right.
Love you guys. Go for it.
All right. Back to Robin Darla.
All right. Well, follow
was
that
awesome.
up. That was very organized and mathematical and doable,
Yep.
right? So I hope you took lots of notes. I gave you plenty of warning, right? When Gus does that process where he breaks that stuff down like that, we're all like, we got it.
Yeah,
One of
I
our
can do this.
I can do this, right? One of our guys on our team was like, oh, I hope I can see those slides again, right? So I hope that you guys all had a chance to write that stuff down. And now I can remember when he did his trip
Yep.
to Europe,
Yep.
right? And how excited they all were and taking his whole family. Could be a good thing.
Oh yeah,
Could be
he
clear,
went to.
concise
I
mental
think
picture.
every place they stayed, I think he went to like a Michelin star restaurant.
Oh yeah, I think so too, right? He had that all planned out for sure. All right, so real quick, we're going to give you just a couple seconds to look at the text number again for the rally, 404-465.
This is the last one, right?
Yes,
Until we get the top teams.
1830. So this is your chance. We're going to, staying on our explosion theme, because that's kind of what he was talking about. This is the first Art Williams video that I picked tonight, and it's actually called Explosion.
How did A.O. Williams go from this little old peanut, 85 people in one city and one state, and explode to 225,000 people in every city and every state and change the largest industry in the world? I will show you in this little video exactly how we did it. 6 minutes, but it tells you how we were able to recruit a different kind of person that's ever been brought in this industry before, and how we made this business fun and exciting.
Why work the concept of sales manager? Why not just go out there and knock on doors? Well, 4 reasons let me talk to you about. Number one, by doing our concept of recruiting and working through a natural market, it's a warm, wonderful, fun, dadgum way to be in business. Folks, it didn't take me the first 2 years I was at ITT, they didn't have any sales management concept. I was a salesperson. Well, it didn't take me long to know that I didn't like that. I didn't like the insecurity of sales. I didn't like going in a stranger's home. The first thing, nobody wants to buy nothing, right? Nobody wants to even talk to you about buying nothing, right? And you go knock on the door of a stranger and they let you in. They look at you with that hatred in the eyes, right? They got that old starey, that old icy look, man. They sit there with the arms crossed, They said, will you please get the crap out of here? Hurry up. You're wearing my butt out. I want to go watch my favorite TV show. I got tired of that kind of cold, icy kind of. ITT came down one day and they started a telephone campaign. They were going to show me how to use the telephone. I can't stand a telephone. Worst invention in the world in sales is a telephone. And they bought me a mirror and they put some smiley lips on it, up there. So you're supposed to, when you dial this, they gave you a street direction. When you dial, you're supposed to look in the mirror and be happy. Look at those smiley lips, be happy and get this wonderful canned sales pitch. I was miserable. I was sick as a dadgum dog. I did that for about $50. I said, man, if I got to make a living this way, I'll go back and coach football for a living. But then all of a sudden I started recruiting. I started going out there and recruiting a guy or a gal. And man, they needed extra income, and they were excited about the crusade. And man, they said, boy, I can sell this like hotcakes. And they said, man, let's go talk to my best friend. I'd go in, they'd set up the appointment. I'd just be going along. And this guy's over there shaking the guy's hand and said, boy, you are this Art Williams unbelievable, this A.L. Williams unbelievable. And man, he sold it that gum crap before I ever got to the table, right? Unbelievable. It just changed the whole atmosphere, the whole environment, even today, folks. The thing that lights a fire under my butt more than anything else is that excitement and electricity of a new guy. If I'm down in the dumps, all I got to do is go out and recruit a stud, and man, that guy just lifts me up. He's so excited. He just fills me with energy and enthusiasm like you can't believe. A second reason now to master A.L. Williams' concept of a natural market. It's the only way to build huge numbers of good prospects. Folks, this has always been a numbers business. It always will be a numbers business. Those that pick up the most policies make the most money. Those that recruit the most people make the most money. Those that get the most code numbers make the most money. Those that produce the most leaders make the most money. That's the way it's always been. Well, you can't do that in a cold market by flyers and leaflets and hand out suckers to kids at carnivals and get on a cold telephone. You can't do that. But I tell you what, you can do it. You go out there and recruit a guy that's got maybe 25 people in his referrals in his natural market. And this guy's pumped up about the business. And you're going to go out there and you're going to pick up maybe 10 to 12 sets of policies, and you're going to make maybe 8 to 10 sales out of that warm family unit. And then you're going to recruit 4 to 5 of those people. And now, by recruiting 4 to 5 of those people, if they got 25 natural markets, now you got a bank over here of prospects of 125 people. And that ain't like having names on a street dadgum directory, right? This is all people in the family. These are all warm friends of this dadgum person that's come to work with you and excited about the business. Always remember this unwritten law. Folks, I don't care what state you're in. I don't care. You're only 1 or 2 good recruits from an explosion, folks. So if you go out there by being a master of recruiting, you're just one recruit can put you in orbit like you can't believe. Number 3, another reason to master our concept of sales management. It's the only way you can stay in business. You can't stay in business as a salesperson. That's why the turnover's so bad, right? You just never get better. You never improve your situation. You never get a comfortable, secure, working, winning situation for you. Folks, another unwritten law, you either grow or you die. Folks, you got new blood coming in. You're promoting new districts, new division, new sales leaders, new regional managers, new RVP, or you're dying. And the only way to do that is to keep recruiting. The fourth thing about mastering our concept of sales management, it's the only way to guarantee good quality business. You know, you talk about worrying about the competition coming back and knocking you out of a sale. When you go recruit a good person, and then you take time to explain to him, you know, we don't sell policies, we save the guy money. And then he goes to meetings and he learns about the company, the heart of the company, our crusade, the products we sell people. And then he takes you to his friends and they get caught up and come to opportunity meetings, get caught up in the licensing and training program. Folks, they sit on, old agent wants to come back, they sit on the front porch and throw rocks at him, right? Says, shoo! Get out of my life. I hate you and your kind, right?
There he is, right? Gus, Andy, Gus, like, right?
Can do this.
Over the same thing, over and over and over again. When you get to the next video that he's going to talk about, which was called Pay a Fantastic Price, it's exactly what Gus and Andy tell us all the time. Andy's like, just pay the price, just eat the...
Eat the crap.
Thank you. Quickly.
The family
right?
program. Wes told us it's a family program.
Yes,
Andy,
he did.
So
Sorry. All right, I think that was Andy anyways. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's move on to promotions. I think I have a promotion graphic. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Do the rally one more time, Matt. One more time, real quick. You got about 2 minutes. 404-465-1830. How's it going over there, Trish?
Very well.
Good. All right. There it is. Last chance. All right, let's do some promotions. We've got a few coming in here. Ezekiel Parker is promoting Daniel. Oh, hold on. Daniel and Kim Alvin. and they are being promoted to district. That is a nice place to be. Gigi McGinnis is promoting David Pritchett to district. Robbie and Katie Hall. They are promoting Jennifer Jones to district. They've got 3. District. Danny Johnson is being promoted to district as well. And Brittany McKenzie is being promoted to district. That's pretty good. 3 districts in a week.
Yeah.
Maybe 2, but that's excellent. And that is who we have for right now. So good job, everybody. Congratulations. Holiday week. We didn't keep you from doing anything. That's very awesome. All right. Trish is coming up. I'm going to step out.
Yep.
And Trish is you guys are going to go through the lengthy list of promoting people who are reporting, RVPs who are promoting. Here she comes. She has to get a mic now. Matt got all serious on us and stuff.
So we have got, let's see if I can count this right. I think there's 60 RVPs reporting in tonight.
Wow.
Yeah. So awesome. Awesome. So I'm just going to run down the list of who reported in. Ron Schmidt Sr., Keith and Joan Ottinger, Laura Langston, the Eubanks team, Randy Andrews, Belda Rubio, Beth Bynum, Connie Whitmere, Kim Trin, Merv Wiley Browse, Amanda Lorfice, Robin Amy McKeever, Berryman team, Craig Lane, Bella Rice, Judy Marshall, Anthony Malone, the Gupta team, Eddie Espinosa, Gigi Hashis, Kevin Goodman, Ezeal Parker, Jolene Janke, Neva Chung, the Pallant team, Joe and Carolyn Red, George and Betsy Costanzas, Hamad Rizvi, Dave and Ellen Parkhurst, Bob and Linda Baker, Gigi McGinnis, Walter Charles, David and Garcia Catan, Sherry Johnson, Miki and Milton Peel, Lou and Sylvia Robinson, Joanne and Richard Shaw, Tammy and Ron Lewis, William Kofer, Savitri Crenshaw, Elizabeth Luzeris, Robbie and Katie Hall, Wes and Shay Florinord, Patrick Nadal, Sean T. Walker, Cesar Marmolejo. I don't have to write the phonetics down anymore to that, Caesar. Bobby Cheeks, Jerry and Dolores Snavely, Tim and Terry Sheridan, Tanya Searcy, Glenn Plate, the Janke team, Mary Hayes, Meggie Charles, Peggy and Jaron King, Ray and Shannon Rodriguez, Daryl and Crystal Julian, Desiree Ladon, Doris Rodriguez, and Desmond Watson.
Wow.
So
Alrighty.
that's a list and a half, guys. That's
Yes,
awesome.
that was awesome.
So we are going to do
Here are the top
2.
2.
Top 2.
Oh, you're right. It is only 2.
Top 2.
Woohoo.
We're going to start with
Top
Belda Rubio. She has reported in with 125.
All right.
And then Walter Charles reported in with 85. But if we remember last week,
Yeah.
He
Didn't they
over-
both reported the exact same last week,
yes,
right?
and he overachieved.
Yep.
And Belda hit her number. So, we're just going to, so let's see what happens. The
All
game is
right.
on.
The game is afoot.
Again, if you've already texted in, a bunch of you have, on both of these teams, you need to re-report in. I can't count you before we call the top teams.
Exactly.
So just send in another text. It only takes a second, especially you just hit copy and paste and send it again. But I can't count you before we know who the top teams are going to be. So this is where we stand. Walter, Charles, and Belda Rubio. And I'm going to start counting.
Go at it.
All right.
Good luck.
So
Gotta
only,
get Claudia to help me.
Yep.
only those
All right.
top 2 base shops.
And so,
Most of those people in that shop
Yeah,
already
they
know,
already
know
know
the
the
drill. But
So,
for those of you that are new, if you make it as a top team, then those base shops get to report in individually. Each member of that base shop needs to send us a text message and tell us who their RVP is and tell us who our what their solution number is. And we only accept one text message per team member. So I can't sit here and take my phone and report my solution number and Darla's solution number. That doesn't work. So I've got to do it individually, and then Darla would have to do hers individually. So that's how that works. But right now, we only want to hear from the top two base shops, the Bell DeRubio Bold team and the Walsh Charles base shop.
And if you do report in before we announce in anticipation that you might be in the top, she does delete you.
Yep.
Just saying, right?
All right.
All right, so pay a fantastic price. That's the name of the next Art Williams video that I thought was the most appropriate thing for wrapping up this year and pushing our, like getting focused. So Matt, whenever you're ready.
I used to talk to those guys when they were making $10,000 a year and $15,000 a year, you know, and I'd tell them, I said, I want to tell you something. One day, our leaders are going to be cash flowing hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And I said, I'm so sick and tired of listening to y'all bitch and moan and complain, you know. Y'all always, because you can understand, you know, if nobody's making any money, you know, how you complain about the competition. They were a lot worse back then, if you can believe it. You know, complain about the bad articles, complain about underwriting, administrative problems today. Folks ain't 1/100th as bad as they used to be, okay? And we had all kind of problems in building a new company and nobody was making any money, you know. And I used to tell myself, I tell you what, it's going to be worth it. One day, dadgummit, we're going to have people making some big money. I promise you that, you know. And I said, I can't wait. Because when they do, I'm going to cram that up your butt like you can't believe. Because let me tell you something. See, as the leader, these people buy you. You understand that? Do one of these jobs to me, okay? You understand? See, you are A.O. Williams to your people. When you go out there and promise them, the company's going to give them the best products and the best administration, the best compensation, and the best opportunity in America. They buy you, right? They don't know Art Williams. You're A.O. Williams to your people. Well, these people become your dadgum family. You love them, they love you, and they believe in you, right? And if you think you're not going to deliver for them, then folks, if you're a decent person, if you're a good people person, you can't live with yourself doing that, you know? You've got to know in your heart of doing that, you know? You've got to know in your heart that what you're doing is right, right? And so anyway, I used to tell them, I said, I want to tell you something now, dadgummit. One day this thing's going to work. And then all these excuses, you know, I ain't going to have to put up with it. You know, I mean, it was pretty hard for me to tell them to cram it, you know, when, you know, nobody's doing it, right? I mean, I had to listen to some of their crap, you know? Well, I told them, I said, I'll live for the day when one person can make it. One person that comes from where you come from, takes that opportunity and goes out there and does it, then if you're a fair-minded person, then folks, Dad, you don't have a bitch. Then dadgummit, all you got to have is one person go out there and do it, and then if you want to be somebody, then you ought to know if you go pay the price long enough, it'll happen to you, you know? And you ought to know that 98% of the people ain't going to do it. You know, one of the saddest things I deal with in A.O. Williams right now is the opportunity is so incredible, but also the price is so incredible. See, in the free enterprise system, the bigger things you want to do, the greater price it demands. If you want to make $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year, if you want to become a millionaire, then folks, you've got to do some bad things, right? And see, I understood that because everything I've ever wanted to do in my life that was worthwhile was tough. I ain't ever done nothing that I really wanted to do that didn't demand a fantastic price. And so I grew up believing that I didn't mind paying a price, I didn't mind sacrificing, I didn't mind laying on the line, I didn't mind working hard. Dadgummit, as long as I could do it, as long as I could become somebody I was proud of, as long as I could build financial security for me and my family. Does that make sense? And so what I had to have, what I think A.O. Williams had to have, is we had to have somebody that comes from where you come from, that had all the problems that you've got, make it. And then if we could show that to you, then folks, that ought to seal it in your mind. That yeah, it's going to be tough, Sure, 98% of the people aren't going to be willing to do it. I started to say one of the saddest things I deal with is I see so many people that have the potential, so many men and women that can do it. I mean, they are just so right for this A.L. Williams opportunity. They're at the right place at the right time. They're doing the right. I see so many people that come to work at A.L. Williams and they start thinking about becoming a national sales director. I mean, I talk to them and say, well, Art, I guarantee I'll be an NSD in a year. You ain't going to be an NSD in a year. What you got to do is become a sales leader first, and then a district leader, and then a division leader, and then an RVP, and then a real RVP, and then produce RVPs. You got to start making a living in a dadgum. You know, one of the greatest, I look back at my career, and I really think probably in my heart, the thing that meant more to me that I accomplished, now I'm worth a lot of money, I've been financially independent for a long time, but as I look back at my career, probably in my heart, my greatest achievement was learning that I could make a living in the sales business. The first 2.5 years that I was full-time, I worked out of fear every day. Every single day I woke up, folks, I was scared I couldn't make it in this business. I was scared that nobody let me come see them, that once I sold my friends and relatives, you know, there'd be nobody else out there to let me get in their house, you know. Every time I missed a sale, I doubted Art Williams. I thought I was the dud, you know. Every time one of my guys quit, I thought I was the dud. I thought nobody would follow me. And then all of a sudden, about 2.5 years down the road, I found out that Art Williams could make a living for my family in this business. It's not ever easy to miss sales. It's not ever easy for your guys to quit, you know. But that's part of this business. That's the way it is in the real world. That's the way it is at A.L. Williams. That's the way it is with any other company out there, you know. And you just, if you want to do it, if you want to do this business, if you want to have a chance to make big money, if you want to have a chance to build an organization that will give your family tremendous wealth, then that's the crap you got to go through. Now, if you're not willing to go through that, then go out there and get a salary job. Go out there and get an 8-to-5 job. Go out there and make a dadgum living and let somebody else worry about all that crap. Well, that's the way I think you've got to learn to live. And you've got to understand that just because, you know, if in your organization out there, 98% of the people don't want to muster up the courage and energy to go do it, that's just the way it is. That don't mean, when I talk about duds and studs, I don't mean that you're a dud as far as a human being. You understand that, right? I'm talking about a dud as far as A.L. Williams, right? Now, hopefully, I don't think A.L. Williams is for everybody. I think there are other things out there where you can become somebody and all that kind of stuff. I don't know where they are. And I know A.L. Williams is it for me. But if A.L. Williams ain't it for you, go find your thing. But as far as I'm concerned, you're either a dud or a stud. You understand what I'm talking about in context of A.L. Williams, right? Well, folks, you can't. That's one reason A.L. Williams came up with our part-time concept. Because there should never be a person that joins A.L. Williams that leaves this company unhappy. There should never be one. If you're the right kind of leader. Now, that's theory. Now, in the real world, that ain't the way it is, because losers blame the wrong kind of things for their failure, right? Many times they'll blame you. But there are not many losers out there. Most people are fair-minded people, and we let people come in this thing on a part-time basis. And all they got to pay is a dadgum licensing fee. And we require our full-time people, our managers, to go out there and make the first 3 or 4 or 5 sales for them. So if they decide to quit without ever making a sale themselves, they're going to make a 300 or 400 or 500% return on their investment, right? And they would have learned something about insurance, learned something about investment, got their own program straight. It had been one of the greatest things in their whole life. One of the biggest fallacies that our competition deals with is they make people go out there and come full-time. People like me that ain't ever sold nothing, didn't know if they could sell, that prospecting is humiliating and degrading. Living on commission just tears their butt up, you know? And they're going to make people that got wives and kids or husbands and children dependent on them give up that security and go in this thing full time, knowing that 2 and 3 and 4 years, now 90+% of them are not going to be here at A.L. Williams or any other company out there. And it just wrecks their whole lives, destroys their whole career. They have to spend all their savings, all their investment dollars, their whole life is ruined. Well, that should never happen at A.L. Williams. And you got to understand that all you can do is give people an opportunity. And the opportunity has to be for real.
I'll tell you what, the coach always fires me up. When I came into business, it was like, I say this right now, I feel like I've been on full scholarship for like 45 and a half years. You get that Friday night feeling, that locker room, get to wear the jersey in school. I mean, what an amazing thing to be in a business where you love what you do. We do so many great things for people, and you get to run a team, be a part of a team. Great Warren Powers talked about his son, Little Warren, who ain't that little, but I mean, talking about, Little Warren didn't get to play in the NFL with Warren, but they get to play on the same team in Primerica. And so a couple thoughts, as I'm thinking about what you have to do to win. And, a lot of times people say, well, Gus talked about the money, 56,000 or 58,000 or 60,000. And I was talking about a Disney trip that was 60 grand. I mean, you do play at whatever level you want to play at. I mean, you got dream trips, they're dream trips. You go on that plane, those weren't just first class seats, those were beds. I mean, those Delta Comfort, when you fly over to Europe, I mean, I'm 6'5" and I fit flat in that bed. I mean, it's an amazing experience. Instead of sitting in some chair, you're in first class chair. You get up 8, 9, 10 hours later, boom, you wake up and you're there. I'm in time for some breakfast and let's get moving, So it's talking about selling the dream. But a couple things about that, people say, well, it's not about money for me. Money doesn't, money's not that important to me. And people say that. Some of you are probably saying that. And I'm going to tell you, that's a bunch of garbage. Because if you work for a job, you have a job where they physically require you to be there to perform a task. Okay, so you're required for 40 hours a week or 35 or 50 or whatever it is. And you got to do X, Y, Z and get it done. And then every 2 weeks, you get a paycheck. So if you think about that, if you're going to say, well, it's really not about the money, I don't like hearing about all that. What I would challenge you to do, if you want to quit being a hypocrite and a liar, that's right, a hypocrite and a liar, then I want you to go in. Maybe it's going to be this week, maybe it's next week. But when next time you go into your job, you report in there, I want you to go to that boss that you really don't like. You know which one it is, the one you really don't like. And go up to him and say, you know what? It's not about the money for me. I'm just honored to have a job and a position with this wonderful firm, work for you kind folks. And, Christmas is coming up. What I'd like to do is my next 2-week paycheck, instead of giving that to me, I want to go ahead and give that to you. I'm talking about your boss. Let me give that check to you and your family so you can do something nice for your family dollars, because it's not about the money to me. See, that's a bunch of crap. Of course you do it for the money. So the challenge is, what are you worth? What is your worth? I mean, what is the value? I mean, because all they're doing is saying you're worth X, Y, Z. This is what your benefit package, whatever you're getting paid, whatever's come out, for on that check and all the stuff that comes out of the check, that's what they value you at. And you're either going to build somebody else's wealth, or you have the opportunity to build your own wealth here. And so I don't care about the money. That's a bunch of garbage. Sure you do, because that's why you have the job you have. So if you had a choice, why would you choose to be Rudy on the playground? The guy who got beat up and finally got it for a couple plays at Notre Dame, when Joe Montana in 1975 was on the same team. Rudy, that movie, that's 1975 Notre Dame. Joe Montana or Rudy, which one do you want to be? I'm not talking about talent. I'm not talking about whether you can throw the ball, run, all the fancy things that Joe Montana could do, win the Heisman. And, no, he didn't win the Heisman, won a national championship and 4 Super Bowl championships. Well, what level do you want to play at? Another thing is, a lot of times people go, well, I'm just the kind of person, man, I got to have all kind of information first. I got to know what I'm doing. I got to have knowledge and information and money set aside, before I can really get started. That's another lie. And here's the way I frame it. What's the most important thing you're ever going to do in your life? Community project, charity project, church project, or raise your children? Now, maybe you didn't hear me the first time, so let me go through them again. The most important thing you'll ever do in your life, a charity, community project, church project, or raise your children. Which one? I'm pretty sure everybody has to raise the kids. Okay, great. So here's how that goes. If you walk into a bar, they all have signs that say alcohol may cause complications with pregnancy. They got to put that up by law, because it could cause complications with pregnancy. They ought to have another little line at the bottom that says alcohol indeed causes many pregnancies. Now, some people say, well, I don't drink. Well, somebody else did, and that's how you got here. They had drive-ins in the old days. I mean, hey, for people, that's kind of what happened. And here's what happens. To me, it's amazing. because what happens is as a female comes up to a male, I don't care if they've been married for a while, not married, I don't care what their situation is. Female comes up to the male and goes, stick turned blue, rabbit died, got a hot one in the oven, I'm pregnant. Always, I don't care what the relationship is. The male backs up and goes, "You serious? Not messing with me? You serious? Serious?" Some of them have the gall to actually say, "How could this have possibly happened?" when they were actually there. It's amazing. Okay, but now all of a sudden you got this kid and it's ticking, boom, 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 like a Timex watch. 9 months, it's coming out. And guess what? You ain't got no money. And you surely ain't got the information about what you just got yourself into. Because now you got a baby that, I always laugh about that most babies, they come out and aren't they beautiful? Don't they look like this and that? They look like animals in distress because all they do is eat, throw up, crap, and eat more and cry all night. And we joke about that. How'd you sleep last night? Slept like a baby. Woke up every 2 hours crying for my mama. I mean, if you think about it, it's a total mess for a while. And they get a fever. They're crying. You don't know why they're crying. You start asking mom or grandma or looking it up now with the internet or whatever. You don't know what the hell you got yourself into. And certainly, have standards and we don't compromise. And every week we do this, we do that, we go to church. Until you add 1 or 2, 3 kids to your life, and you might be doing that or you might not, because all of a sudden there's other beings in your life that start disrupting your schedule. And so you have to have information, you have to have knowledge. No, I think you figure it out. I mean, if you don't have the money for birthdays or Christmas, feed them. We did this last night, talking about, well, I'm doing my best to work on what I'm doing in the business. Well, is there a way I could trick you into saying you're going to feed your children this week? I couldn't trick you into saying, well, I'll see what I can do to hopefully, get some things in position so I can feed the children. You're going to feed the kids are going to eat. You're going to figure that crap out. You might have to go to the in-laws to get food, borrow money, whatever you got to do. They're going to eat because they have to. How do you figure it out? You do it because you have to. And I'm not saying you don't need to know anything here, but crap, what Art Williams was talking about on that video about it's 100 times better than it was back in the old days, I promise you it is. You got a little tab on POL where you can click every single thing that you ever need to know in this business. It's insane. But what are you going to do? You're going to go do the work. That's the big question. Are you going to go do the work? And I don't care. Art Williams talks about the do it speech. You got to do it till the job gets done. Nobody wants to follow adult, disillusioned, frustrated, daggum crybaby. Which one are you going to be? You're going to be a dud or you're going to be a stud. You're going to find a way to win or you're going to get beat. Make excuses or make money. Can't do both. What's it going to be? And I was thinking about Cam Newton the other day. Cam Newton, 9 years in the NFL. He was NFL MVP 1 year. And he was, all pro multiple years. One of the best quarterbacks in the league. Won a national championship at Auburn in 2010. But 9 years in the league and got paid $122 million. It's like $15, $16 million a year. $17 million a year. And now he's playing for the New England Patriots for $1 million for the year, when he was making 16 times that. And then the thing about it is, see, in that kind of world, you got to go out and prove yourself every week, every month, every year. In our business, if you just follow the simple principles like Gus went through, like we talk about all the time, get bigger, go home, you go to the tabs, keep it simple, keep the chicken soup simple, just run a daggone play. You can build an enormous business here. And most people I know, it never took more than 2-3 years of putting their head down and going to get the job done. So the choice comes in at the end of 2020, 2021. What's it going to be for you? And they talk about, well, COVID surging again. Well, when it surged the first time, that's when we started our greatest year in the history of the company. My greatest year, 40 years, best year in the history of my career. 40 years this year. I don't know. It's going to get bad, better. They go to vaccines. I don't know what's going to happen. But all I know is primarily people need insurance. They want insurance. We haven't had people wanting insurance like they wanted it this year and going to want it next year and the year after. We haven't had that happen for like 20, 30 years in our country. And then there's going to be more and more people that need part-time work and someplace full-time to build a platform, because there's going to be a lot of business, especially in the hospitality, foods, restaurant, all those industries, hotels, plane, all that stuff. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of people out of business, and they want somewhere to go to. So all I'm saying is you got everything in position here. Why? I don't know why all that happened. It's just what happened. And as the smoke started clearing, we're the ones that we're in the best position of anybody. So what level do you want to play at? You got simple systems that were explained tonight. It's all a choice right here. What level you're not going to win a Super Bowl. You're not going to win Dance with the Stars. You're not going to win a talent contest, beauty contest, all that crap. You ain't going to win the lottery. But you got a shot here to have your Super Bowl here. So I challenge you. You got 7 full days to finish November. Finish November strong. Put yourself on a platform going through December where 2021 going to be different. All these things everybody talks about going to be different for you and your family. And you're going to deliver. Go get the job done and talk about how great it is to get the job done and deliver. So back to Rob and Darla. I know we got some business to finish up. There you go.
We will see you soon. So just a quick reminder on the 2021 kickoff, January 8th and the 9th. As we have more details, we will be sending them out to you, but
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Save the date, right? So the other thing I wanted to do is I have to stand corrected. I have to make a correction to something that I said earlier. I want to do a second shout out to Robbie Hall's 3 districts that he did. They were also divisions.
Oh, wow.
They were district and division over
That's
the
why
course
they're
of
on
the
there
last
twice.
2 weeks.
Okay.
All right, they were on there twice. So being promoted to division is Jennifer Jones, Danny Johnson, and Brittany McKinsey. I don't know, all of a sudden it looked wrong. All right, so congratulations, and congratulations to Robbie. You're blowing it. That's awesome. So, as always, we remind you about the system.
Yep, system's online if you want to go take a look at it. Maybe take a look at it more than once, twice, however long it takes for you to get that in your head, memorize it, make it natural, make sure your presentation's simple, repeatable, less than 20 minutes like Andy. So go to getbiggergohome.com, can show you, his philosophy, the coach's, mindset, the actual presentation itself, as well as what he does for orientation, follow up, all of that.
Yep.
So
and you've got that system now, and then you've got Gus's numbers.
Yep.
The breakdown, like the math part of it. So you got philosophy, you got numbers, you're all set.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just off to do it. So, was that it?
I think.
Are we to the rally?
Yeah,
We're
we're
to
on the
the
rally.
All right. Here she is standing over here waiting on us. Step on in.
Oops, sorry, wrong one.
Wait a minute.
This
there
is
it is.
close.
Uh-oh.
This is very, very close.
Oh, man.
Walter, you reported in with 85. You had 125 people report in.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy.
Pretty awesome.
Belda, you reported in with 125. You had 127 report in. You won by 2. And I get 2 is all that matters.
Yes, it
The
does.
difference between winning and losing is so
2
small,
tonight.
it's hard to think about.
It's 2 tonight, so
Congratulations,
here you go.
Belda.
Congratulations, Belda.
All right,
All
so that's
right.
number 8.
All right.
Closing in
Walter-
on Walter's record, but Walter ain't
Walter's
going down without a
not
fight.
going down. He is not going down. So I had one last thing I wanted to just say was Happy Thanksgiving
Yep.
from all of us at the Get Bigger Go Home family, and be safe and build over the weekend.
Yeah. Don't get complacent now.
Don't get complacent.
We
All
can
right.
do something big if you get some momentum. Make sure you're ready for 2021.
We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Bye. Oh, look at that nice shot.